it's one of those days in which it's time to go into Cobra Kai because that's basically how I started the first video. It's crazy that it all started with How I Met Your Mother, which I've said before. Just wanted to say again because eventually I am going to have to talk about it. And a lot of that is because I genuinely do still love that show despite the ending, but regardless, there's so much to talk about. But Cobra Kai, it's crazy because the series felt kind of formulaic in its way of producing. But it wasn't until you get to Cobra Kai in which it brings a much more three-dimensional outlook to all of its characters. And rather than it being good and evil, black or white, there's an actual gray area. And it's crazy because this show delves into that extremely well to a point where you cannot help but be just impressed with the brilliant writing. Sure, there's one thing that annoyed me. It's the ridiculous levels of drama that it seems to enjoy implementing. And you can't help but be like, yo, why is more drama? Why are more misunderstandings? It happens way more than it has any right to. I understand why. And when everything is understood, you can't help but be like, thank you. Let's not have that happen again. And then it happens again. But regardless of any of that, can't help but love the show. Not to mention the action. Action is definitely better than the films. Especially with the kids. The adults, they do their best. Legit, they actually do their best. Especially considering how much older they are now. But regardless of any of that, the drama, the character development, the complexities, all of those factors is one of the key reasons what made me love this show to begin with, and what ever since binge watching seasons 1 and 2 and then eagerly waiting for season 3 and so on up until we get to here, you can't help but feel a certain way about that level of satisfaction to a show that cares about its characters this much and the legacy of these characters. So you can't help but feel a certain way like, oh, I'm gonna miss these characters. But if you're gonna end it like that, you can just go back and watch again.